What up, Z? Uncle T here. There's my bare feet. There's my feet. Just getting home from the park. Just getting home from the park. Playing some soccer, doing some juggling, all my stuff. So I'm gonna do another quick little tutorial here. I'm just seeing where I'm in frame. Somewhere in here. All right. So this is not always the thing that I would do, but this is one of the things that I would do. So just it's one of the things that I would do. And one of the things I would do is let's work on my calves real quick, right? So this is just a quick calf de-stressor, and normally I would follow this up with some with some stretching, maybe something passive, maybe active isolation, AI stretch. But you can see, I just spent like a good couple hours, my feet all jammed up in the shoe, but still my feet look pretty good. But that's because I do a lot for them, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my yoga toes so I can spread out my forefoot, kind of get some space in between my toes so they're not caught in that really kind of compressed, towards center line position. Because a soccer shoe doesn't have the most amount of space in it. I was juggling today barefoot, so I kind of cracked my nail, but it's okay. So, a soccer shoe is, pretty tight. We like to feel the shoe so we can feel the ball, so we can, kind of get a good relationship there between what's happening between our human system and our feet and the world around. So, you already see right from the beginning about how nice that spreads out your foot. So if you kind of think about what the shoe looks like, in relationship to the foot, so it's nice and broad. You see where the toe goes on the shoe, where it wants the toe to go for the shoe, but you see where the natural setting of the foot really opens up with the yoga toes, right? So it decompresses the footbed and it gets what's called the interosseous membrane, in between that space in between all of these articulating joints here, the metatarsals, just to kind of stay healthy. This is a way to offset things like Morton's neuroma and even to some degree plantar fasciitis. But you can also get a really good sense just about what all the different all the joint spaces are doing. Whether they're symmetrical, whether they're collapsed, or whether they're all visible, right? So I just got my yoga toes in. I'm just going to let them set up. I'm going to, you're going to put them on. You're just going to be like, this feels good to just have some wiggle on my toes with some space. And so then I'm going to take my half roller and I'm going to do some calf work. So, so when I start doing the calf work, I think I'm in frame. I'm going to start high in the calf. I'm going to work in 3 blocks: high calf, mid calf, low calf. Right, so I'm compressing high calf right now, then I'm going to work mid calf, low calf. So in general, three different tiers, right? So the first thing you're going to do is just use a motion like this, just by doing soft knee bends or soft foot floats, just kind of by doing flexion and extension at the knee. You're going to create enough roll across the surface of the tissue, and what you're doing is you're decompressing and compressing the fascia and the myofascia as it kind of relates to muscle, and through that decompression compression you're pushing fluids in and fluids come pushing fluids out and fluids come rushing back in, pushing fluids out, fluid comes rushing back in, and it's that way that remember, connective tissue, like I was telling you last time, it's a fluid based system. So this is the way you mitigate tension in connective tissues, through compression, mechanical manipulation, right? So while I'm on that spot, you've got essentially 3 motions. There's actually a lot of motions you can do, but here's the 3 basic ones you want to work on. Knee flexion extension, right? Internal and external rotation. This is created all the way up at the hip, right? But you roll into the calf and you roll to the outside of the calf, and you're going to feel the difference between what the calf feels like in here and what it feels like out here. Out here, it's going to feel really ropey on the peroneals and the brevis line. But in general, you want that to be kind of smooth, right? So then you're going to roll in and out, and then the third movement you're going to do is where you point and flex the feet while you're compressing the calves, right? There's spot one, and I'm going to roll it down to mid-calf, right? I'm going to repeat that process. You know, you could do this alternating, where I'm going left knee, right knee. You could do them at the same time. But in general, I just kind of want to touch every area in the mid-calf around the circumference of the back line, right? And sometimes a lot of times what I do is I combine these movements as I flex and extend. I'm on the outer calf, you know, shin towards the ceiling and the shin faces in. And once again, I think you're going to get an intuitive sense of what this feels like on the tissue. It just feels very good to do. It feels very body friendly, right? So there's mid-calf, and I went through the knee bends, rolling in, rolling out, and then flexion extension at the ankle, right? So then I'm going to go down to the low calf on the tricep sura, right? Right below this is where the Achilles tendon is that goes over calcaneus, the heel, and that works its way up into the plantar fascia, right? So it's really important. This whole back line is connected, right? So once again, I'm just going to wash, rinse, repeat. So I'm just using the yoga toes to kind of keep a neutral foot, and then I point and flex, right? I do my rolling, roll in and roll out, flexion extension at the foot. You can even go down another spot. You know, you're doing your rolling back and forth, right? So you can see how flexion and extension kind of fires tib. You get to train tib anterior here a little bit while you're working on that back line. You're giving that back line a nice good rehydration, nice good massage, right? And I take it all the way down onto the Achilles tendon, and I do some movement on the Achilles tendon, and I bring it right onto the heel. So I follow the fascial line all the way down, right? And so you can use the roller to do some point flex, right? And just really see if the feet are articulating. So notice how the flats of my foot are nice and equal. I don't have one turned out, right? They're both very symmetrical. And then as I send the heel long, I want to be able to pull the pinky toe and the big toe towards me equally, so they're in a straight line. And then it sends the heel away reaching, right? Good. Yep. And I would probably do that a couple of times, and then I would start, and I would pick it up again. I would go right back to the top, soft knee bends, roll in and out, point, flex the ankle. Slide my butt back on the floor, soft knee bends, roll in and out on the ankle, or on the calf, point, flex the ankle. Go down another spot, soft knee bends, where you're just kind of prepping the tissue, right? Remember to get inside, all the way outside. Right? Then point flex, go down the next spot. So you're just kind of wash, rinse, repeat, right? Soft knee bends, right? Internal, external rotation, and then point flex. And go down another spot. Soft knee bends, roll in, roll out, and point flex. And then what you can do after you've done the individual sections, upper calf, mid calf, low calf, then you're going to do what I call dragging the line. So you just tie all the work that you just did in together. It's a body working technique. So like as a body worker, I would work high calf, mid calf, low calf, and then I would tie the whole line together. And the way you do that is you just drag the whole line. So I'll be in frame here. So you start it here. You just put your own leg weight on the roller, and you just roll down the calf. Then you turn the leg in, or you turn the leg out, and then you go up the inside or the outside, right? So you just roll down the back, and then go up the inside. You go down the back of the calf, up the inside. Or conversely, down the back of the calf, up the outside, down the back of the calf, up the outside. And then switch and do the same thing for the other calf. Go down the outside, up the inside. Down the outside, up the inside. Down the outside, up the inside. Conversely, down the outside, up the outside, down the upside, down the back side of the back line, superficial back, and up the outside, down the superficial back line, and then up, right? So that's one of the things of many things that I would do. And normally I would do this all in the park in the sun, except for the sun was kind of intermittent, so I wanted to come home and do some of this. And also it's just easier to do some recordings in the house, right? And then and once you get a good sense, and I'll do more of these, all right? And so I'll teach you how to do this on hamstrings, how to do this on peroneals, brevis, quadriceps, IT band, adductor, you know, the whole bit, back line. So there it is, and that's probably plenty enough time for the yoga toes to be on, so I'm going to take those out. Oh, and look at the nice space between my toes. Those guys are happy, and they can flex and they can extend really nice. And my feet feel good, and I can bend them over, open them up, bend them over, open them up, right? I think I like doing my own arch work, where I work on the inside of the arches. I just use my own hands and kind of and just get into the tissue, you know. So get into the habit of playing with your feet and knowing what these different arch lines feels like. You got the transverse arch, the medial arch, and then you've got the lateral arch. Transverse arch, the medial arch, and then the lateral arch. So those three arches, the three arches in your foot, are what give the foot the buoyancy and the lift and the suspension in the tissue, and it gives you really good knee and hip support. So that's important. There it is. So there's my little tutorial on how to make the feet. One of the ways to make the feet happy, using the yoga toes and doing some calf work on the half foam roller. So that is my video blog for you today. Yay! All right, peace out.